Hello everybody. In this video we're going to go over the trades and holdings for the YieldMax single stock ETFs and YBIT. Just a reminder, I'm not a qualified licensed investment or financial advisor, and YieldMax ETFs are extremely risky, so make sure you know the risk involved before investing in these. So we're going to go over these trades real quick. Most of these are all closing out of positions, so we can't see those on the holding side, but we're just going to go through them real quick. So we have Zomo here. They ended up closing out of 145 contracts overall. You can see all the prices if you want to see those here. Of course, JPMO, they also had a close out of 75 contracts. I guess somebody decided to sell out of a lot of these all of a sudden. And then we have PayPay here. They've had to close out 285 contracts. And then they had to close out a SQUE 330 contracts. And then the only addition here would be GDXY. They added 375 contracts there. But that's pretty much all the trades, all the numbers. I know if you're on like a small phone, you might have to zoom in to look at all of these. You know, once the video is uploaded as HD, because when you first upload them, it's not very clear because it doesn't upload as HD at the beginning. But anyway, these are all of the trades that actually happened. And I guess I could have tried to make some of these columns a little smaller and zoom in a little bit more for you. Here, let me just get rid of that one altogether. Well, or make it really, really small. And that might help you out a little bit. I know. There you go. So that might be a little bit better for you. Of course, I know I haven't done a lot of stuff, and that zooming is staying on there. There we go. All right, and then the holdings. I'm going to try to go through this as quickly as possible as well. I know in this video I am rushing, and if you're new, I do apologize. I'm just trying to make sure I can get the data actually out due to lots of stuff that I don't even have time to go through. So, we have ABNY here. We have the short call. Color codes are off, so these do expire this week. 152.50 strike price. We're underneath that 2%. Possible upside here for the short calls of 31 cents. AIYY short call, $31 strike price. This expires this week. We're currently underneath at 10%. Possible upside of $1.08. AMDY, 2 short calls expire Friday. Okay, so unless we see otherwise, they're going to all expire this Friday. There might be a few exceptions. But we have a 160 strike price and a 175 strike price. We're underneath those 3 and 11%. Looks like we have an upside of about $1.60 here for the short calls for AMDY. Then we have AMZ short calls, 187.50, 195, and 197.50 strike price. We're underneath those 3, 6, and 8%. And look at around 70-cent upside here for AMZ. Appley's still hasn't downloaded, so I'm sorry I had to choose to go ahead without it. And let me put my spreadsheet on it in case it decides to load at some point. All right. So then we have we have Coney short call. 275 strike price, underneath that by 4%. Possible upside here for Coney of 75 cents. Dizzo short calls $99 and $100 strike prices. We're underneath those 5 and 6%. We're looking at about a possible upside of 80 cents for Dizzo. Sorry. And then we have Phoebe here with a short call of $4.95. And we're under that 2%, possible upside of 28 cents. GDXY. This is wrong, so those should be 2 short calls. So give me a second to fix that. Short call, and then I need to, sorry about that. copy over the formula back over real quick. All right. Okay, so we have two short calls. Oh, okay. So they're both 38.50 strike price. One expires this week, one expires next week. Of course, we're underneath that strike price by 3%. Possible upside here of about 54 cents for GDXY short calls. Then we have GUI 195 strike price for the short call expires this week. We're underneath that 7%. Possible upside of $1.19 for GUI. Then we have JPMO strike prices for Friday, 215, 220, and 222.50. We're underneath those 2, 4, and 5%. Possible upside, I don't know, trying to guess over here. Majority of our contracts are at the highest strike price, 222.50. And I don't know. I don't know, maybe somewhere around a 50-cent upside here for JPMO short calls. Then we have Murney here with the short calls with the strike price of 126 and 130. We're underneath those 3 and 6% with a possible upside of 42 cents for Murney short calls. MSFO, two short calls, 450 and 457.50. We're underneath those 2 and 3% with upside of 32 cents for MSFO short calls. Misty, we have a short call with a 16.75 strike price. Of course, we're over that by 7% as we closed at 1800 yesterday. So no upside for the short call there. Of course, sorry, I went past it. Could have a little bit of upside there for the synthetic positions, but yeah, maybe not a lot there. Nephle here, short call, 660 strike price underneath that 2%, possible upside of 32 cents there for Nephle. NVIDIA, we have 4 short calls, 124, 125, 126, and 127. We actually closed at 123.54 yesterday, so underneath that first strike price by 46 cents. The other one's 1, 2, and 3%. The majority of the contracts are basically split between the 126 and 127. So we're looking at about, I don't know, 27, 30-cent upside there for NVIDIA short calls. Then we have OARC with a short call, $48 strike price underneath that 1% or 34 cents. Possible upside of 8 cents for the short calls for OARC. Then we have PayPay, $61 strike price. We closed yesterday at 60.77, so we're below that 23 cents. Possible upside of PayPay of 6 cents here. Then we have Snowy, short call 136 and 140 strike prices. We're underneath those 4 and 6%. Majority of the contracts are at the 136 strike price, so we're looking at upside about 53 cents here for Snowy short calls. Then we have Squee with short call of 71 strike price. We're underneath that 4%. Possible upside of 76 cents for Squee short calls. Then we have Tesla. Ooh, I'm running out of space here. If they do any more short calls, I'm going to have to insert lines. They have 4 short calls that expire this week, 262.50, 265, 267.50, and 282.50. We're underneath those 4, 5, 6, and 11%. Majority of the contracts are at the 265 strike price. Possible upside here of about 79 cents for the Tesla short calls. Then we have Zomo with 1 short call with 119 strike price. We're underneath that 3% with possible upside of 53 cents for Zomo. Then we have Crash here. Let's see. We had 2 short puts, 220 strike price, and a 222.50. We're above those 13 and 14%. And a reminder, I think it is tomorrow that DIPS comes out, which is short for NVIDIA. Then we also have Fiat here with a short put that expires this week with a 225 strike price, and we're currently above that 18%. And last here we have YBIT. 2 short calls expire this Friday, 24 and 24.50 strike price. We're underneath those 1 and 3%. Possible upside here of, I don't know, It's maybe about 15 cents. Then we have the synthetics that expire next week with a $35 strike price. All right, I know that was really quick and everything. Sorry I didn't get this data out before. And anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. If y'all have any questions, just let me know. Thank you, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.